The Little Mermaid is not a love story. It never was. Hans Christian Andersen wrote the original in 1836 and published it in 1837. He did not write it as a fairy tale for children. He wrote it as a confession, a private letter to the world about what it feels like to love someone completely who will never love you back. And he knew exactly what that felt like, because he was living it when he wrote every single word. But we will come back to that. Here is the original story. A young mermaid lives beneath the ocean in her father's palace. Mermaids live for 300 years, but when they die, they dissolve into sea foam and cease to exist entirely. No soul, no afterlife, nothing, just gone. The Little Mermaid has spent her whole life longing for the world above the surface, longing for something more than what she has. On the night she is finally allowed to swim to the surface for the first time, she watches a ship celebrating a young prince's birthday. She watches him from the water in the darkness, and she falls completely in love with someone who has no idea she exists. He never knows she saved his life. Then a storm hits. The ship is destroyed. The prince is thrown into the water unconscious. The Little Mermaid swims through the wreckage and pulls him to shore. She holds his head above the waves all night long. She lays him on the beach in the warm sunlight. And then she hides behind rocks in the water as other people find him. He never knows she saved his life. The Little Mermaid becomes obsessed with the idea of becoming human. Partly for the prince, partly because humans have immortal souls and mermaids do not. She goes to the sea witch, who lives in a cave made of human bones, surrounded by the skeletons of mermaids who came before her and did not survive the bargain. The witch makes her an offer. She will give the Little Mermaid human legs, but the transformation will feel like a sword being driven through her body. And every single step she takes on land for the rest of her life will feel like walking on broken glass and sharp knives. She will be in constant, agonizing pain every moment she is human. She will never be able to return to the sea. She will never see her family again. And she must give the witch her voice, her beautiful singing voice, gone forever. If the prince falls in love with her and marries her, she will receive an immortal soul, and the pain will have been worth it. If he marries anyone else, she will dissolve into sea foam at dawn on the morning after his wedding, and she will simply cease to exist. She agrees to all of it. She drinks the potion. The pain is exactly what the witch promised. She collapses on the beach. The prince finds her. He is captivated by her beauty. He takes her into his palace. She cannot speak. She cannot tell him who she is. She cannot tell him she is the one who saved his life. She dances for him every night despite the excruciating pain that comes with every movement. And the prince grows very fond of her, the way you are fond of a pet. He tells her she is his favorite companion. He tells her he loves her more than anyone. And then he tells her about the girl he truly loves. A girl from a temple near the shore. A girl he believes rescued him from the sea. He says he can only ever truly love her. The Little Mermaid knows she is that girl. She saved him. She is the one he is describing. But she has no voice to tell him. She gave it away. And he never figures it out. The prince is arranged to marry a princess from a neighboring kingdom. When he meets her, he believes she is the girl from the temple, the girl from the shore, the one he has always loved. She is not, but he believes she is, and he marries her. The wedding takes place on a ship at sea at night. The Little Mermaid stands on the deck in the darkness, watching through the window as the prince sleeps beside his new bride. She knows that when dawn comes, she will dissolve into nothing. No soul, no afterlife, just sea foam on the waves. Then her sisters rise from the water. They have made their own deal with the sea witch. They have given away their long, beautiful hair in exchange for a knife. They hand it to their sister. The instructions are simple. Kill the prince before dawn. Let his blood fall on your feet. You will become a mermaid again. You will survive. You will go home. She stands over him in the darkness, the knife in her hand. His new bride sleeping beside him. She cannot do it. She throws the knife into the sea, and then she throws herself in after it. And as the sun rises, she dissolves into the foam, into the waves, into nothing. That is the ending Hans Christian Andersen wrote. Not a kiss, not a wedding, not a happy ending. A girl who gave up everything for someone who never knew she existed, who chose to die rather than hurt the person she loved, who dissolved into the ocean alone at dawn. Now here's the part of this story that nobody tells you. Hans Christian Andersen wrote this story in 1836 while he was in love with a man named Edvard Collin, who did not return his feelings. That year, Collin told Andersen he was marrying a woman. Andersen was devastated. And shortly after receiving that news, he sat down and wrote The Little Mermaid, a story about loving someone completely who will never love you back, about giving up your voice so you can be near them, about watching them marry someone else, about choosing to disappear rather than cause them pain. The Little Mermaid is Hans Christian Andersen, every word of it. Disney released their version in 1989. They gave her a name. They gave her a happy ending. They gave her the prince. They gave her everything Andersen never had and never got. They just removed the entire reason he wrote it. The original was published in 1837. It has been sitting there ever since, telling the same story it always told, about the kind of love that asks for nothing in return and gets exactly that. Episode 5 is coming, and the story Disney changed for that one will genuinely make you angry.